One of two spots in the NFC title game awaits the winner here as we're underway in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And trotting out there, no introduction needed for this guy around the league. Now in his 7th season as a QB.
And he more than did his part in the wild card win with 3 touchdown passes. Now, he's going to get a bigger test here in round 2, but his unit is in rhythm, and they're playing as well as they have all year long. I wouldn't be surprised if this defense, though, tried to get after him early with a little extra pressure. If he can handle that, he can have another big game, though.
It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's 2nd down. To throw, it's Williams. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Throwing is Williams. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th. Here comes the Bears punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Fielded just inside the 30. Gets past one man. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. So out comes the Washington offense as they get their first shot. And they will be led out by their 2nd-year quarterback.
For a guy still in his 2nd year in the NFL, this is obviously a big spot for him to try and fill. Able to engineer the victory in the wild card round last weekend. That's got to give him confidence, and it's got to elevate the confidence of his teammates as well. But as he said after the win, things are only going to get tougher from there. He understands the situation he's in. He understands what's ahead of him in this one.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now George. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That is caught. And he's going to have a Commander's first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
George to throw. Finding Williams once more, complete. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. George looking to pass. Throws out left. It's caught by Williams. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 24-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Off play action. George. Pass is caught. It's Metcalf going across the field here. And he takes it in for a Commanders touchdown. DK Metcalf. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Commanders are on the board first here in this division round matchup. Well, we knew they had the crowd on their side. Their defense has already made a stop, but now here's an opening drive touchdown.
Yeah, how about the defense making the stop, offense feeling their momentum that they've generated, and turning it into points on their side. So now you've got a team working together, and you get the crowd involved fully on their side in this ballgame.
And in this playoff atmosphere, that 12th man means even more. Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And for them, maybe a little carryover from last week's game. They got the win on the road in the wild card round, on the road here again in the divisional round, but they're hanging tough.
Hey, cue a little music, right? Well, they're on the road again. I mean, this has been kind of the mantra they're under right now, and they can't change it. The season dictated what would happen with them, right? They had to go on the road for the first round for the playoffs. They're on the road again, and sometimes teams get really comfortable with that. Not only the idea of going on the road and shocking the world, but just, hey, it's just us. We don't have to worry about outside distractions. It's just us. Let's go play.
It becomes that us against the world mentality, doesn't it?
And while it may be overplayed, in the media, it's real when it comes time to play ball.
Here is third and quite a ways. To throw, Williams. A throw left side taken in by Kmet. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. They call it a loss of a yard there. And that's going to make it fourth down. Here comes the Bears punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And Washington will have a short field here as they take over first and 10. Throwing to start the drive. George. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Brought down, but after we saw a flashy little move, stopped short of the 40. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up second down. Left side here taken in by Metcalf. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. George. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. This would have been a 54-yard boot had they tried a field goal, but they will not try a field goal. They're going for it. They'll try and run for it. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. Washington goes for it, but it does not pan out. And the Bears will get the football back. And defensively, they were ready for that, a full-on blitz on 4th down, and they stop them short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Looking to throw is Williams. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. From the shotgun, a throw for Williams. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Williams from the gun on 3rd down. There's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Short completion, just 4 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down. Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. So out comes Washington's offense to take over. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. George. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it's second down. Operating from the gun, George. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But it proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
From the gun on third down, George. And he's going to have a Commanders first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
From the 37, they work on 2nd and 6. Operating from the gun, George. He's airing it out for Williams. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Washington. Jamison Williams, 63 yards. And the Commanders have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Chicago offense set to get started. They trail here early in this division round game as they seek a spot in the NFC title bout. To the air, Williams. That one out wide and intercepted. Inside the 20. And he will bring this one back. An interception return for a Commanders touchdown. Charles, it is pretty rare that we see a team build this kind of lead in the opening quarter. And, man, they seem to be clicking on all 3 phases right there. The defense doing its part with a pick 6.
And it's absolutely been the definition of a start that you would pick for yourself and for your team, right? And I have a feeling that they just want to stay in this zone. What's truly incredible about this start is they can add on a couple more scores. This one could legitimately be over in the second quarter.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 21-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. They trail early on the road in the playoffs. Not a great combination as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Here's Williams. He'll get this into the hands of Adunze. And down right near the 25. Able to break through that initial contact. Got him some extra yardage. What do they have for this? 3rd and 11. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And the Washington pressure gets to him, and he will go down. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick 6, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Jamison Williams out onto the field as his guys take over on offense, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defenses, getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
So the completion results there in 9 yards, and they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He'll find Metcalf. His 4th catch already in this first quarter. It's a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. And that one will go for 13 yards on the keeper and a first down. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. And they'll work from the 29 on 2nd and 6. Operating from the gun, George. That's complete over the middle to Stewart. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. Back to throw, George. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Everything's going right here in this first half, and they've got a good lead. And part of that can be attributed to their success on 3rd.
And now following that last play, I do believe we're going to get a review here.
Previous
yes, indeed, the red flag is out. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. Winds up a very good call there defensively to challenge that one, as that now will wind up an incomplete pass. So they're content to take the 3. Somewhat of a conservative call there, opting not to go for it on 4th and inches.
And that's from a team that you and I know is not usually playing it close to the vest. It's a little bit of a surprise that they opted for the 3 instead of going for it.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Here's Williams. Throwing to start the drive. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. The Bears with the football. We get set to begin quarter number 2. 2nd down and 4. As they've got it as we resume action. Quick hitter here. It's complete. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one a first down. Off the play fake. It's Williams. Over the middle, and that's caught by Kmet. It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
There's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be 2nd down.
They'll go play action here with Williams.
He finds his man, complete. That's Gregory. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
To throw once more, here's Williams. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 30. Working out of the gun, Williams.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down.
These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
They run the counter. It's Gregory. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's third down. Now an inside draw. This is their fullback. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's fourth down.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
McPherson's kick is good.
And they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Washington offense set to take over.
And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game.
That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Washington.
Jamison Williams
with his second touchdown here in this first half.
And the Commanders continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. What a first half he is compiling here. He's already over 100 yards receiving and now 2 touchdowns, CD.
Brandon, you know I don't like to play the game where you start projecting when you're at a certain point. But let's face it, he's off to a tremendous start. So 200 yards, 4 touchdowns. I don't think anything's out of the question right now. He's blowing up coverages. You've got to double him every snap. Otherwise, he's going to defeat you on almost every play.
Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense.
And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. And at least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a give right side. It's Gregory. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
On play action, here's Williams.
Rolling to his right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down.
It's Williams. And that is incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on third down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up fourth down.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback.
Jamison Williams, his guys take over on offense.
He might be on his way to a record-setting performance. So good here. We're only in the second quarter.
And it's so interesting when we watch these types of days unfold for a receiver because they need a quarterback throwing it accurately, people to block for the quarterback, so many other variables. But, boy, he's getting it done and in a big way. Right now, he wants to rock on every snap.
He's counting his yards in the hundreds, not the tens.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Traditionally, as a defense, your #1 job, stop the run. But in today's football, it's impacting the opposing quarterback. Make him uncomfortable. And so far, they've not been able to do that.
Not at all. He's been really comfortable in the pocket. 3 touchdown passes already.
So that could be an important first sack if they do want to turn things around.
Washington going to send out their punter.
And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Let's take it inside his own 40. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Bears take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Play action. Now Williams.
And he's got his man out of the slot. Complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A well-executed 22-yard gain. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal.
Throwing is Williams.
And it's caught. Touchdown. Cole Kmet from 6 yards away.
And the Bears get a bit closer. Now, this has been a one-sided first half to this point, no doubt, but at least signs of life here. They're on the board.
Yeah, and I think if they went to the halftime down big with 0 points on the board, it'd be a struggle to see them come out in the second half and play well. So very important, vital here. And if they make a huge comeback, we'll look back at this moment and point to the start of it.
The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
3rd and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable.
They'll try to run this one in, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago.
A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Bears are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that'll cut the lead back down to 21.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shack and get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
It's a pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs.
2nd and 9 from the 44.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down.
Now George. He's going to let this go for the end zone. He's got it. Touchdown, Commanders. Jamison Williams
on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns.
And the Commanders continue to pull away here in this first half.
Extra point attempt to come here. And he's been a busy man. 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays.
And it was Jamison Williams wrapping things up with a touchdown.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on first down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again.
Throw right side, taken in by Adunze.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
From the gun, here's Williams. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
He'll get that complete to his tight end, Kmet.
Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
That is caught. He will have the first down and a bit more. Trying to tiptoe the pylon, but they're going to say he stepped out at the 1-yard line.
This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half.
And the Bears get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the 2nd time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack, and you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line, and he's able to take it into the end zone.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that'll cut the lead back down to 21.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Jamison Williams out onto the field as his guys take over on offense.
He's the star wide receiver, and he's doing his thing so far here into the second quarter.
And how you get distinguished as a star is each and every week performing to a high level no matter what they throw at you, because you're always wanting to take him out of the game if you're a defender.
Touchdown, Washington!
Jamison Williams
on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns.
And the Commanders will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. So that one, his 4th touchdown catch of the game, one behind the all-time record of 5.
Now the try here for the extra point. And that'll increase their lead to 28. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Well, the Bears going to take over now late in this first half. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. To throw, Williams. Open man is Kmet, the tight end.
Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play.
A pass complete to Odunze.
And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense, and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
So the pass goes out of bounds, but he was not outside of the tackle box when he threw that. He's got to be careful.
You and I both know if it's even close, they're going to give it to the quarterback. They don't want to throw that flag unnecessarily. So if you're just in the area, you're going to be okay.
That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
But first, let's take a look ahead to tomorrow's other divisional round game in the NFC. And it looks like we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the New York Giants taking on the Green Bay Packers. The highlights from the first half, all one-sided. This one got out of hand early, and now you have to wonder how these teams will approach this second half, because this one's already close to being in the bag, if it's not already.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Commanders' offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
I think the key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work the run in a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But if they run it more effectively, they may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up second down.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. And that one too wide and incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit. A lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that's a great run, and this is where you've got a running back who feels like he needs to take over this football game. You're in the second half, you've got the lead, you're looking at moving on to the conference championship, and he's got to be saying, just keep giving me the ball, and I'll get us home.
George to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. 61 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. And they'll keep leaning on the running game, back to the ground. And this time the yards won't come so easy, as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown. A 20-yard touchdown. And the Commanders take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. So add another one into the touchdown column. What a game. That is now 6 touchdown passes for him so far in this one. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. Looking to throw is Williams. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Gregory. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll bring up second down.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 31-yard line.
Operating from the gun, Williams. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. They're backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. And they'll send the tight end in motion left. Now Williams from the gun on 3rd down. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's a quick throw out left. That's caught. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And it's 2nd down. To the air, Williams. There's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet. 5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Gregory. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Up the middle they go. Gregory. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. From just across the midfield stripe, here's 2nd down and 8. Here's Williams. There's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 36. Looking to throw. Williams. And he's got his man in stride. Complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They'll fake the give. Now Williams. Complete. This is Mitchell. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Throwing again here, Williams. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. From 6 yards away. And the Bears are able to at least get 1 score back. They went empty backfield, all their weapons out wide, so there really was no secret here to what they were going to do.
No secret, but they still had to execute it, and they still had to protect the guy throwing the ball because oftentimes when you empty the backfield, people bring pressure at you. They managed to hold in there and successfully complete the touchdown pass.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good, and that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Another drive coming up for this Washington offense. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Still comfortably on top, 3rd quarter as they start things here with a 1st and 10. He's got this to Williams, complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A very solid gain of 27. And with a yardage gained on that last reception, he is now in the NFL record books, folks. The all-time record for most receiving yards in a single game belongs to him. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. George looking to pass. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he's going to have a Commanders first down. He needed 5. He got it barely, as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
And he'll score. Touchdown, Commanders.
A 16-yard touchdown.
And the Commanders have taken a 5-touchdown lead. So that is going to tie an NFL record that has stood for more than 70 years. 7 touchdown passes in one game. It was first done by Sid Luckman of the Bears in 1943, then by Adrian Burke of the Eagles in 54, and now that mark equaled here in this one.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Chicago offense set to get started. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, put the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
Here's a 2nd and 9 now from the 29. Off the play fake, it's Williams.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Williams from the gun on 3rd down. There's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet.
And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on to kick it away. It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. A look at Washington as they come onto the field.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Operating from the gun, George.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. This is taken at the 15. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field.
Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. Was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. They'll look to throw here on first down. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first. They run the counter. It's Gregory. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. 2nd and 10 here as we sit in the 3rd quarter of this divisional round matchup. Back to throw. Williams. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd. 1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now at Commanders Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack.
They'll go. Here's Williams.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert.
And Washington will take control of the football in great field position.
No surprise. They try to throw the ball on 4th down, but it gets batted down. They don't pick it up.
Well, a little football 101. When you're going toward that quarterback, you see he's going to start to throw. Get your hands up,
right? Get your hands up, affect the play, and then everyone get your hands up. When the ball gets to the receiver, moment of truth, knock it away.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Looking to throw. George. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Now on comes the Washington field goal unit. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And this one is right through. And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so that you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field.
Their hopes of advancing past this divisional round hanging by a thread, if that, as they begin here with a 1st and 10 on the wrong side of the scoreboard. To the left side, into the hands of Adunze.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
To throw, it's Williams.
And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Well, this is getting ridiculous. 8 sacks now. That time multiple guys get to it.
Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12.
Throwing is Williams. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Working out of the gun, Williams.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
And it's Washington that scoops it up.
Taking it right down Broadway. And he gets it back into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery leading to a Washington touchdown. So a great play there by the defense. If these guys are going to advance, and it looks like they will, this defense a big reason why.
And they love carrying the mantle for this team, don't they? You see the way that they move around out there? They want to lead this team deeper into the playoffs and hopefully onto the Super Bowl.
And that return for a touchdown certainly helps that cause. Point after try forthcoming. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Chicago offense set to get started. But we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down. Back to throw. Williams.
That's complete right side to Kmet.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that will bring up second down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
And again back to Kmet.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
From the shotgun, a throw for Williams. Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down.
They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Operating from the gun, Williams. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Over the... And it's a fumble.
And it's Washington that scoops it up.
And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
But Jamison Williams out onto the field as his guys take over on offense.
What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season now.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. And the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Jamison Williams out onto the field as his guys take over on offense. He's been almost impossible to bottle up. You see that number 10 on your screen, a big reason why they have the lead.
One of the guys is being featured in this game and making sure that he's targeted because they do trust him with the ball. That's why they go back to him time and time again.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll get this to the 32.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down. This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays, and they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones and really illuminate them. Not cool. Well, they certainly didn't appear to be fired up about their options throwing the football. So, to me, this seems like a case of just kind of taking their medicine there, run the ball, see if they could pick up something. Instead, they were throwing for a loss.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out, because now it's not a total loss, because as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. From the gun, here's Williams. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Looking to throw. Williams. He'll look middle here and get it to Odunze. A 6-yard pass on back-to-back plays. Picks up the 1st. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. To throw, Williams. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it'll be 2nd down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 36. To throw once more, here's Williams. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. Here's 2nd and 7.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
They'll look to throw again. A pass complete to Odunze. They just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
An 8-yard pickup. First down, Chicago.
Looking to throw is Williams. He'll get this into the hands of Adunze.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and that's going to bring up second down.
The Commanders are moving on as we say goodnight, everybody.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
The Commanders pick up the victory as we say so long from our nation's capital.